Hello, everyone. Welcome on over to the Unified Collegiate League. We're in here. It's 2024. It's the fall season. Today is November 5th, and we're ready with our engines revved up. We're going to start our action off with lower finals. We're going to talk about grand finals. We're going to get into all of it, but before we get too far ahead of ourselves, my name's Travis C. I'm joined here with Captain Ahsoka. Cap, how are you feeling on this day? Are you revved up? Is your engine warmed up?
I mean, I would have to say it is, because honestly, I was coming into this just thinking we were going to do the lower finals, but no, we get a treat. We get to do the lower and the grand finals in the same night. So yeah, I would have to say that my engines are pretty revved up.
Yeah. We kind of had a little bit of a late notice, and it was one of those things where it's just like, yo, we were originally going to do just lower, but it's like, yo, we want to see the grand conclusion to where these players end up. Look, they've been playing all season long. They've been trying to get their spot. They have that spotlight now on them as it is deserved. And let's go ahead and just run through everything as we go about. As it is on Tuesday, this is our last week of some unified action, but we'll run you through the schedule. On Monday, there was some Overwatch 2, sure to be an exciting time. On Rocket League Tuesday, and then on Wednesday, we got League of Legends. Thursday, Valorant. And then on Friday, it's Smash Bros. And like I was just saying, same time, same place. But this is supposedly the final week, I do believe, for all these games. So make sure you're tuning in for all the collegiate action.
Oh, absolutely. Like well, when I say we, Llama and I, we were covering Overwatch 2 yesterday, and literally, I kid you not, the best Overwatch game throughout the entire season. The entire season. It was absolutely nutty. So again, these games, as we're getting through the lower and grand finals, they're only going to get better and better. That was just Monday. We have all week. And I got to tell you, Monday, they started us off on one hell of a high note.
Look, competition breeds excellence, and let's go ahead and talk about the excellence that's been showcased here inside of Rocket League. If we could take a moment to look at the journey these teams have gone through. As you can see, we're going to be starting off with lower finals, and the reason why I say talk about the journey these teams have gone through, Radford, MSUB, look, they met early on. It looks like they're meeting again to see who's going to get them run back against Harrisburg.
Yeah, I mean, but you got to keep in mind the last time that these two teams went off against each other, Radford ended up taking 3-0. And that's how they came out. And then they moved into the upper finals. They were knocked down by Harrisburg. They're going to be playing for revenge. However, for MSUB, this is their revenge game. They're looking to get revenge on Radford right now.
Yeah, they're like, all right, we got something to prove here. And look, they got knocked down into lowers. They had this crazy game against PSU. Going 3-2, went the distance, went against VCU, had a similar journey, and then knocked them down 3-0. So MSU, if you're talking about a team that is red hot at the current moment in time, that might just be them. As Radford, they went through the journey, they went through upper finals, but as you were just talking about, Cap, we saw it on stream last week. Harrisburg really took control over their series. They're revenge in their minds, but they cannot look too far ahead of them as MSU is hot and raring to go.
Now, let me give you a little bit of insight. Yesterday, when we were covering Overwatch 2, the exact same scenario tonight. The exact same scenario. Two of the lower final teams, their last matchup, one of them got a 3-0 over the other. They came into the lower finals and then went the full distance all the way to 5.
Whew. You love that. You love that. Look, like I said earlier, competition, it will bring something out of you. And when you're in the grand finals, that is the pinnacle of competition as we have these two teams going head to head against one another. Radford, MSUB. I'm excited to see what they got in store for us off of the pitch. What kind of adjustments might be made by MSU inside of their series, as well as we talked about it a little bit from the two of them. One of the big things that I always took note of from the side of Radford is they did not get to have a great time in terms of team play. And I wonder if MSU might be looking at that from last week and being like, oh, we can possibly exploit this. Or if it's something that Radford has patched up and found out, okay, this is where the kinks in the armor was. Let's patch it on up. We need to come in here with a little bit more heavy duty material.
Well, real quick, I'm going to talk about, you know, somewhat of the unsung X factor that's going on into this matchup. Okay, hear me out. Okay, so MSU, their last two games, they went 3-2, big win over PSU. Then they went 3-0. They're coming into the lower finals off of a sweep win against VCU. Radford, they're coming into this off of a 3-0 loss. Okay, so if we're gonna talk about momentum, I do feel like it's kind of on the side of MSUB. Not to say that it's gonna give them a big overall competitive edge. I'm not predicting who's gonna win. I'm just saying going into this lower finals, you have a much better mentality when you're coming off of a 3-0 win than a 3-0 loss.
This is true. This is true. However, pump the brakes on the momentum talk. I'm going to be the devil's advocate here on that discussion, right? You also had a week for the team to sit back and recollect themselves after taking that 3-0 loss, right? You might be coming off of a loss last week, but that doesn't mean you're coming off of a loss in Rocket League. You could have gone off. You could have played scrims. You could have found your match made in whatever you could possibly go for inside of it. Here we go. We're off the pitch already. Radford, MSU, they're looking to clash one another. And here we go. As you can always see, Riolite, a star last time around for Radford, looking to already get control over that ball.
Are you saying that Radford could be going rad? Okay, that's going to be my first and last cringy joke. I lied. That is the first cringy joke of many that is going to happen throughout the night.
They should have somebody named Brad, so they could be Rad Brad, you know?
Absolutely. You know how they keep a stat count of like every other thing, like assists, saves, goals? We need a stat count for cringy caster joke.
Oh, then we're going to max out that stat by the end of this broadcast. I can assure you on that one. Right now, they're trying to put up this stat of how much time can we have the ball just chilling over an MSU side of the field. It is unrelenting.
Yeah, Riolite already showing off a little bit of the fancy footwork there. I mean, coming in already with the flippery doodah flip reset. Granted, it did not lead to a goal, but I mean, at least it looked cool. I mean, I got to give him a little bit of credit there. Meanwhile, though, I mean, we're what, about a minute 10 in, still 0-0. You know, so far so good for both sides.
Yeah, it's still been a little bit more of that solo play that we have seen, but you are seeing a couple more of those bumps coming in from the side. MSU really isn't interrupting the plays. They're letting the plays finish out, and they're kind of getting the end bit of it and interrupting there. The only problem is they're giving Radford so much space, actually, just reposition for the ball right afterwards. These clears, they're not becoming passes. They're not becoming scoring opportunities. MSU need to connect the play.
Yeah, it looks like both teams are coming in, you know, a little bit frosty on the fingers, but Riolite with an epic save. My goodness, that one definitely should have been a goal because everything was correct on the play. The pass was connecting. The shot was on target. It was just the defense literally had to steal that one away. So, again, good starting plays being made as now Radford take a shot on and it gets deflected.
Yeah, right off of the corner there. A tight shot. Hard to make that one. As you can see, both squads now finding some possible shots on goal, but not sinking it into the back of the net. Not just yet. MSU swing and a miss from the side, but Salty comes around, grabs a hold of the ball. Rendini making sure to make a play happen for themselves, floating it up into the middle, but they will not sting like a bee. Not today.
I like what I'm seeing from MSU so far. They're playing a lot more aggressive than I think the last time these two teams got together because they're, like you had mentioned earlier, you know, we're seeing the bumps, we're seeing the demos, but they're also getting the boost starves in, and that, like we had mentioned so many times throughout the regular season, can have a ripple effect that can lead to goals.
Oh, Smurf with the clear and a whiff. We'll get a pass over to Prequits. As you can see, Radford now having control over the ball. 2 minutes left remaining in round number 1 of this. To remind everyone at home, This is a best of 5, so first of 3 to be able to get that dub will come out victorious, and then you have to play a best of 7 right after inside of the grand finals.
Yeah, Smurf now gets the flip reset. Is it on target? It goes off the sidebar, and it will be Precux to come through and clean it up. First goal goes to Radford.
Okay, so 1, that was heartbreak. 2, high five immediately right after. Went through a variety of emotions on the play, but you got to give credit where it's due. Great handling by Radford, and great to be able to have the right person in the right place at the right time to make sure that goal happens. Now Radford find themselves a goal up. MSU, they have to go ahead and get that offense going for them, but the defense is falling apart. Momentum swings heavy.
This was a great choice. This was, I think, the best option. Again, you got Real Light going up, and they're thinking, okay, I can get this double tap. I am full in belief that Real Light hits those. They can make that double tap if they want to, but they saw a defender there. They said, I'm going to drop it low for the pass, and Precux, instead of shooting high, shoots low, finds the opening. Smart decision-making there from Real Light and Precux.
Yeah, smart as can be, and that gives you a 2-0 lead. All happening within this past minute. MSU, they have to pull out a magic trick, get 2 goals to appear out of thin air for themselves. And I say thin air because the ball's still inside their goal. Smurf now finding the score. They wanted it earlier. They wanted to be the first one to score for the team, but they go ahead and catch it off of these rebounds. It just, they can't get good clears. And now Radford, in a minute's time, have scored 3 goals towards the end of the round.
And you know, they are starting off on the right foot because, again, what you had mentioned earlier on, both teams were like just kind of, you know, going for the solo plays, right? Now in the late game of game number 1, you can see Radford really getting the team plays going. On that last play, all 3 players got involved. And Precux, whom, by the way, the Cajun in me wants to call them Precu, because in where I'm from, in my neck of the woods, that's how we would pronounce that. But regardless, we're seeing Precux, Real Light, and Smurf all getting involved on these plays. MSU, 30 seconds left remaining. You would need to score immediately and look for 2 scoring opportunities off pitch. A difficult task, not an impossible one from what we've seen in Rocket League, but Radford, a team of this caliber, will not allow you to just make that opportunity happen for nothing. Looking for another scoring opportunity of their own. They want to pad that goal count on up, baby, but there's the countdown. It's going on over. Radford getting themselves a dub in round number 1. I want somebody to correct me on how to pronounce that name, because to me, Precool just sounds cooler, like Precool, right? Anyway, regardless, fantastic first showing coming out from Radford. I mean, they go unanswered 3-0. They're coming in with 13 shots on target as opposed to the 7. That is a big difference when we're talking about shots. And then not to mention the save difference was only 1 in the favor of MSU, right? But when you're comparing the save to the shot count, you know, that 1 extra save isn't going to do you much justice. And another thing that Radford were really doing well on, and we noticed in the beginning, both teams, they were kind of slow with the pass plays, with the team plays, a lot of solo plays, but towards the end, all of a sudden, Radford, they churn out 3 assists.
I feel like the big thing I want to see from MSU going into game number 2 is I want to see them do a little bit more disruption on the play. You brought up the team play that was coming out, but it felt a lot like Radford's team play has evolved from just straight up solo play to, all right, I'm going to go for the solo play, and the other 2, I'm just going to be in a position to follow up. Like, I'm just going to look for it, because what's happening is MSU is waiting until the end of the play to intercept, and that is giving them the opportunity to possibly goal, to get into position. I think they're giving Radford too much time to prepare. So I want to see MSU get a little bit more scrappier. I want to see them get up in the face, turn it into a game of Twisted Metal, get that TDM flowing through you right now, MSU, because you need the scrap of Radford.
Okay, well, here we are, game number 2. Let's see if they can get the job done, as Radford now going to start things off on the defense a little early to kick things off in game 2. Bolty going to be trying to push the initiative, but it gets blocked and cleared away by Smurf. Now, Brindini tries to answer the call, gets beat out towards the mid. Gribble not going to be able to get that touch, and it's going to go the other way.
Yeah, long, lofty lobs. Nobody from the team is there in position. Look at MSU. 2 people are staying back. So when those lobs happen, Radford just picks up the ball and puts it in play right in front of the goalpost. Dangerous scenario. The MSU, they need some of the members to play a little forward. They need at least one other person to support the offensive endeavors. You can't win a game without scoring.
Yeah, right now the comms are calming for Radford. Granted, they haven't found the back of the net yet, but already they're going for some pretty cheeky team plays. More often than not, it's Riolite, you know, leading the spearhead for their offense that gets it off the backboard first and then just waiting for one of their teammates to try and catch a rebound. But the point is that, you know, they are getting the ball moving in their favor, as that one is going to waterfall down and no one there to receive it.
He's there, and nobody's home, but Riolite is there to answer. You immediately saw them slam the door in Riolite's face, saying, no, 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 we know what you're about, as Radford puts themselves yet again a scoring opportunity quickly disrupted. MSU, they're committing multiple members to the goalpost, but yet again, they need to find that big decisive clear. They need to be able to carry the ball and get themselves into an offensive position, but there might be a little bit of fear after getting 3 goals scored in them in such quick succession from the last time. That's another dangerous scenario.
Yeah, look at Smurf, though, not giving up on the play. Neither is Precox as they put one on. And Gribble able to get the save to clear it away. MSU in a dangerous place right now, like you mentioned. Have to get the clear out, but here comes Precox again. Gonna try, puts this towards the mid. The touch is there from Riolite. Back out. Here, Smurf was there, but they got bumped at the mid.
So unfortunate. It happens, as Smurf was like, I'm in position. Oh, no, wait. No. Gotta start things around, crank it on up. MSU, they're getting some good lobs now around the goalpost, but nothing that's exactly on point. But they're Bolty almost finding a play for themselves. MSU looking for the interception, but here's Smurf. This is where it gets dangerous, as Smurf tries to carry the ball all the way across. Riolite able to resume control, but Bolty is heavy on that aggression.
Radford's got to be careful because right now they are kind of unbuckling a little bit. I've seen 3 double commits in their last possession, and you just cannot have that in the finals. Lower or upper does not matter. You cannot afford to be giving away free possession like that, and like you're literally bumping into one another. You've got to start calming it up, and if you are calming, start putting a little bit more trust in your teammates.
Almost getting in there, but Gribble playing a very strong defensive game. But check that out, Smurf in the right spot at the right time. Go ahead, check out this replay. You can see Bolty was trying to get into position. Riolite carries it. Smurf dinks it in the corner. Absolute beautiful placement on it. And yet again, with less than 2 minutes in the round, Radford make a score happen.
I got to give a little credit to Riolite one more again, because blink and you miss it. On their pass, they went for the follow-through, and they Goomba stomped the defender so Smurf can put it in. Again, it's something that if you blink and you miss it, Riolite was able to clear the way with a cheeky Goomba stomp to make sure that one went in. Again, great heads-up awareness coming from Riolite, as they are going to take full advantage of this 1-0 lead. It was still 1:20 on the clock, still plenty of time for MSU.
Comeback happen. There hasn't been the plethora of scoring opportunities from last time, but as I say it, I curse it a little. Smurf bring it into play, and check this out. This is a hard fought. They get it on this little bit of a bundle in the corner, and they just drive it in. Same spot that it was placed before. They're put it there all by themselves. Radford now 2 up in comparison to MSU with just a little over a minute remaining.
What was that angle, dude? Like, how do you even get that one to go? That was just fantastic shot placement, and that was a very tough defensive save coming from Riolite. Again, they were in the 2v1 scenario. They had no one else in the near post, far post. Meanwhile, Smurf going from post to post as they find their third. That should, if I'm not mistaken, that is a hat trick for Smurf.
Yep, it is. As you can see it immediately tapped up. Beautiful long lob. 3 members of MSU commit at the very end. They got a little squirrely at the end there, and now MSU, they were doing 2 defenders almost all round long, and then all of a sudden they get a little bit zealous with the fact that they need to score. All 3 members commit to offense. You see what happens.
Yeah, well, here we go. Let's see what will happen with Precox now, trying to get past at least one defender. And this is so risky. All three defenders of Radford are on the same side of the field. You got to spread it out a little more. Like, don't get me wrong, they have a 3-0 lead. There's not a lot of time remaining. So, yeah, you can feel pretty good about it. But still, I'm a stickler, right? I don't care how big of a lead that I have. I'm just not going to give away free field possession.
I'll tell you right now, though, I like it from myself because if you're MSU, you do not want to be scoreless in this game. You want to try and get yourself on the board, but it ain't happening. Radford says you're going to go ahead and take yourself back to the boulevard, but oh no, MSU, they can't even get the goal. That feels so good to make you guys go, yeah, we can do it. We can absolutely score a goal. You got to walk away with a 0. That almost tilts you a little bit more than if you actually did not score inside of it, because that was in. That was in.
It's a feels bad because, again, you know, so far it has been a shutout on MSU. They went 3 and out the first game, 3 and out the second game. They have 6 unanswered goals, you know, going, you know, in the favor with Radford. Like, it's a little bit detrimental, you know, it's a little bit disheartening, to say the least. I'm trying to put it in the best way possible, trying to be polite, but at the end of the day, they are on a score drought. I mean, currently, if you're looking at the overall score in the series, it's 6-0, and that's just not where you want to be in the lower finals, and you're already on match point.
Yeah, I think the scary thing for me is the fact that, yet again, we have seen a trend inside the 2 games. Radford does not score until after the 2-minute warning mark, right? Where there's 2 minutes left inside the round. Hey, yo, that's their time to score. And I find myself questioning now, is MSU changing the formation a bit? Because I brought it up inside the last game. They're running 1-2. They are playing 1 offensive player, and then 2 are kind of staying back in a lot of these exchanges, which is why Radford's not scoring early on. It's like Radford gets 1 goal and that formation collapses. All 3 members say, we got to score now as that happens. And you're seeing the pieces fall down. Radford is playing a good game, but MSU's playing a good game too until we get to that 2-minute warning.
Yeah, that is odd now that you point it out, because you know what? I mean, we talked about it a little bit in game number 1, but I didn't even connect the dots in game 2, because it's exactly what happened. I mean, it's an even game for what feels like the first half, and then soon we approach, you know, halftime, and then all of a sudden Radford pop off. However, game 3, not wasting any time, 25 seconds off the clock, and they're already on.
And that has to sting a little bit, and I feel like that might be some of the wounds kind of collapsing there. You can feel that when you saw the defense that came in just not high enough. I feel like that is that's the attrition of having 6 goals scored against you, having that 1 goal that would have been your morale booster taken away from you right in front of your eyes. MSU, they gotta shake it off if they want to keep their dreams alive of going into the grand finals. Radford, though, they say they got a date with destiny, and that date has Harrisburg on the other side, and they ain't trying to be late.
This one's gonna get pinched out over towards the side. Real light there to answer. No boost to work with, though. They're able to grab the corner. Net wide open. The shot goes low, and a beautiful save and clear as Brindini has to come in clutch to clear out another one.
Clutching it out, but quickly going over the offense, but nobody there to support. There you go, Grabble coming in. Bree getting a nice clear lob, nice slow lob to come across. Gribbles onto the side. We'll be able to get a little bit of a touch. MSU trying to figure out a way to mount the offense, but you saw that all 3 cars from Radford said a swing, a swing, a swing. They're just continuing to make sure that MSU cannot position themselves appropriately. Brandini can't even flip the ball for themselves to make a play happen.
And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and point it out. Radford just missed somewhat of a gimme goal. Real Light did the work. They got the pass out over both defenders, but Smurf, for some reason, also jumped on the ball. Miscommunication, call it what you want. Smurf jumped early, and it would have been a perfect pass play. Much like this, as that one will finally find the back of the net. Smurf able to get the final touch.
Yeah, very interesting one, as we see all 3 members actually have a hand inside this play. Riolite was trying to look like dink it in, but ended up actually just hitting the momentum and just anchoring the ball straight down to the ground. Smurf will clean it up, but all three members in position to make sure that that play happens. Beautiful team play, exactly what you would expect from Radford. And MSU with 2 goals down. You have a lot more time than what you had previously. See how MSU plots their vengeance, plots their way to get back. This is their date with destiny as well. This is the run back they wanted. They want to knock down Radford, but they're not making it easy by any sleight of the imagination.
Absolutely not. Riolette again tries to pass it up. Precuts, however, not able to get the finishing touch, as this one is going to go all the way back into Radford territory. Now Smurf off the back wall, able to get past one, goes up high, has boost to work with, going to leave it for Precuts, looking for the backboard, and it's going to get saved by Butley. Oh, Balti, as they manage to get that save and clear it away.
Balti doing a great job for themselves. Has been the most aggressively minded player from MSU. Has always been that person. When I was talking about them doing 1-2s, Balti was the one for MSU, trying to find those carry moments. And you've been looking at this iron wall that Brandini and Gribble have been putting down. Brandini's been trying to carry out the ball from these defenses. Gribble has been trying to be the middleman for the plays, but they haven't been able to find success just yet. But open net in front of them, a visage from the last game. Balti gets their goal, the first goal in the series for MSU.
And that is huge right there. They have officially put it into the score drought. Not only did they put it into the score drought, that is going to boost their momentum, their morale, and now they are within one of the equalize. They're right there. They are doing, better than they have so far in both games. Now they have a little bit of taste of success, and they should be able to, shake off the nerves a little bit. Realize that you're still very much in this game.
Radford has to realize, though, that was some good ball control from MSU. It was just a simple dribble, right? That was all it was. Just carry the ball from one side to another side. No flips, no tricks needed here. Just drive the ball in there, caught and collected. A little bit of a self-score there. Yeah, it's going to feel a little bad for one side, but Gribble is just going to be like, hey, thanks for the assist, man.
I mean, regardless, it's a 2-2 scoreline now, all tied. MSU going scoreless for the first 2 games, now finding 2 in game 3. Very much coming back alive here as Balti puts one on target. Is a little bit high, gets cleared out now, going back towards the midfield. Here comes Precuts out from the corner. Looks to find the drop, gets the touch, and will find the back of the net, getting the 3rd for Radford.
Yo, wait, that was nasty. Just check it out. Goes right around the ball, and Precuts says, you know what? I'll flick the trigger. I'll let it flush on in. It goes round and round into the net. Easy as can be from Radford. 3-2, 1 goal advantage. A minute left inside of what could possibly be the final round, unless MSU is able to mount some sort of offense to get themselves back into it, but they don't want to let a goal happen themselves. We've seen them be in this situation where they panic and too many members go on offense, but right now they're saying it's a coordinated strike, it's a coordinated effort.
I mean, they're still very much in this game. They're on the offense right now for MSU. They have an opportunity to score. There it is, and it will go in. Gribble finds the equalizer.
Hey, yo, Gribble coming in here. That land shark just going through, hits the ball as it comes on down, redirecting traffic. Go ahead and put up the balloons. It's a reason to celebrate. 20 seconds left in the round. They're going to have some aggression to start off the pitch. Neither side would like to go to overtime at this moment in time, but MSU, they would want to go ahead and score. They want to go ahead and end it. They want to get that ball going for themselves, but Radford, you can see they just want to go ahead and get this out of here. They're a little panicking as MSU's looking for a goal, cannot find it.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like that woulda, shoulda, coulda been the game. Again, if you don't pre-jump that so rashly, so quickly, maybe you get the better read. Like, I get it, you want to get there first before the defender, but if the shot's not lined up anyway, then what good was being there first? Regardless, we find ourselves in OT. That clock will begin to tick upward, and now only 1 goal separates Radford from going to the Grands, and MSU, unfortunately, going home.
See, they're looking for a possible play of themselves. Radford have been the opportunists inside of this series so far, but opportunities have been taken by MSU throughout. Good little dink, beautiful defense from Gribble as they have a rough interception. Center up the ball, shot on goal, but it is defended by Riolite.
Yeah, this is getting a little bit nerve-wracking here because both teams are starting to double commit now. First, it was Radford. You know, the Radford were bringing a lot of doubles.
Oh,
hold the phone. Riolite able to put this one in the lower 90. The shot placement couldn't have been more perfect. Radford are going to go to the Grands.
Just the whereabout for Riolite to be in the center at that moment is so important. MSU almost played spoiler inside of round 3, almost disrupted the momentum. Radford came out of that sweating, right? That lower finals, it was a 3-0. The first 2 rounds, convincing. But that last round, right? Radford, you could definitely tell that they got a little sweaty on the sticks there. They were like, wait a second, hold up. MSU got ball. They are messing with us. So MSU, it's sad to see them go, but it was an elimination match for either team. We would have been sad no matter what to see one of these teams go because, look, they got one heck of a bit of competition in front of them. We want to see the very best go at the challenge Harrisburg for the title.
Yeah, absolutely. And they managed to earn their spot to go and seek revenge against Harrisburg. But again, it's still going to be a tall order because to be completely honest, you know, again, we saw Radford come away with the 3-0 win in the lower finals. Congratulations, you made it. But I got to tell you right now, if you run those same mistakes that you made against MSU against Harrisburg, you are going to get punished. That you are going to give away free goals. You're going to lose goals. Too many double commits. I'm sorry. Radford, good game. You won 3-0. Too many double commits. I promise you right now, if you do not get yourself under control and you make those same mistakes that you made against MSU, against Harrisburg, it's not going to end well for you. So if they want to try and win in Grands, if they want to try and take out Harrisburg, they have really got to get those double commits under control.
Yeah, I think the big thing, and I want to just tell the story just a little bit. We'll have more of it right before we get into the game, of course. But remember, every single time Harrisburg has gone against Radford, it has been 3-0s. It has been a 3-0 time and time and time again now. And you can see inside the bracket, it is Radford who is going on a 3-0 for themselves. Every game they've won has been a 3-0. But inside of the regular season, and inside of the playoffs match, those first 2 rounds were where they looked so contested, and it's that 3rd round that always kind of tore them up. So we'll have to see. Is Radford calm, composed, and ready after playing that one series where MSU started mounting that comeback inside the 3rd round?
Yeah, again, like we had mentioned, you know, this is going to be a little bit of a different beast, right? I mean, Harrisburg has been on a tear. They haven't dropped. They've been playing flawlessly. But I got to say, I think we're going to go to a quick break. And so that way Radford can try and get their mentality together, maybe come up with a game plan to take on Harrisburg. But before we do, I just got to say, here at the UCL, we'd like to thank Buy Blue Light for powering the UCL championship. Their glasses are of the highest quality, helping protect gamers' eyes from harmful blue light from devices we use every day. Please check out their site at buybluelight.com and see what they have to offer. But with that being said, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we are going to be going into the grand finals. You're not going to want to miss it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome on back to the Unified Collegiate League. We're in here, 2024 fall season. It all culminates into this one final series to be played here on stream for Rocket League, a best of 7 from what the best inside the league can muster. Harrisburg taking on Radford. My name's Travis. I'm joined here with Captain Ahsoka. Cap, are you ready?
I'm definitely ready because again, I want to see if Harrisburg can keep up like this perfect run that they've been having in the postseason. Again, they're going undefeated right now. I mean, they've been putting up quite a game, you know. And again, I'm just going to go back just to take a look, you know, at the bracket. And yes, they have gone 3-0 in their last 2 games, made it to grands. So they haven't even dropped a game so far in the postseason. So again, I want to see if that streak can be beaten, and here it is. You can see it right there. Granted that Harrisburg, I mean, they're coming into this as the #1 seed, right? So naturally, they're going to get that bye from the first round, but then they go up against VCU, and they go up against Radford. Again, these are 2 competitive teams. These are good teams, and Harrisburg still managed to get the 3-0 over both of them. Now Radford, coming up from the lower finals, looking to get a little payback. Can they put an end to this Harrisburg onslaught?
Well, out of the teams that have competed against them, I brought up a little bit of the history that these teams had. 3-0s, of course, have gone the way of Harrisburg. They had a 3-0 against them inside of playoffs, and there was also a 3-0 in the regular season. However, inside the regular season, there was only 1 goal apart for every single round except for the final round in which everything fell apart. They had I believe it was a 3-2 game and a 4-3 game that was in favor of Harrisburg until the final game, which was like a 5-0 or 6-0 game, if I recall correctly. So Harrisburg, once they got that momentum and they shut down Radford felt it later on into the series. But Radford was within striking distance to put a blemish. Harrisburg have not dropped a game. No, they haven't dropped a round yet. And here we go. We're getting right on into it.
Yeah, and again, this is a team that is no stranger to competitive collegiate Rocket League. Oh, no! Okay, I'm never biased. I try not to be biased. I don't favor one team or the other, but I will say, Precux, you just put a stain on Radford. I know you did not just break Rule 1, homie. Look, that's what happens. That's what happens. The cause and effect. That I've seen it live. I have seen this live. I'm talking again. This was a LAN that I was participating in 10 days in North Carolina. Championship game. They were winning 2-0. Homie breaks Rule 1 instantly. 3-0 reverse sweep. It's real.
Rule number 1 broken. So we're going to just break the back end, your goal, get the ball in there as hard as we possibly can. But check it out, Radford looking for a bit of momentum for themselves. They've been pretty slow to start inside of most rounds in the previous series. See if they're still warmed up, or that last game of that game number 3 against MSU has them a little shaken up. Remember, this is a best of 7, so you have plenty of time for adaptation, 4 plays. This is going to be them playing their 4th round so far of the day of competitive Rocket League for Radford, and Harrisburg coming in completely fresh.
Yes, I guess you can call Harrisburg the Riders of the Storm. That's going to be my second cringe of today. I'm keeping track as we continue on. And Radford going to be holding the line there at the midfield, looking for the pass. And man, they get the touch and the shot is there. But T. Carell there to clear it away. Now we'll go back in the other direction.
Yes, look at that. Just immediately grabbing a hold of the bump. We had an interview with the coach from Harrisburg, and one of the things that he had turned around and told us was it's pretty much easy when you got the players of the caliber that Harrisburg has, right? Like Harrisburg, they're no slouches, too competitive play themselves, and the individual skill is there. Getting them to all use those tools together has been a rewarding experience, and Harrisburg has been showcasing that inside the series, but Radford would love to play spoiler and go ahead and ruin things, make it to where they don't talk about Harrisburg in their undefeated ways. They want people to talk about the team that made Harrisburg bleed inside the Grands as they find another shot possibly on point, but again, Polar able to get in there and stop the play from happening.
Yeah, and right now, it really looked like Radford was backpedaling. Luckily, they were able to get the touch to send it past that midfield line. Now, T. Carell looking to do something a little bit fancy. Not going to be able to make it work, though, as now Nex is going to be able to get that touch, put it back in towards the corner as it gets cleared out back towards the mid. And, you know, I mean, so far, not so bad for Radford. They're keeping Harrisburg only with 1 goal. Looking to put 1 on the board themselves, but Polar is there to deny.
Polar, yet again, just doing so much work. They scored the first goal. They said you were a rule breaker. They punished them for that. And now they've been an iron wall that you cannot get past. Good play possibly set up. Good interruption coming out from Frequency, making sure that that drop cannot happen as Harrisburg was sitting there ready. It was textbook for the play. And Smurf trying to get the ball on over. They're having a little bit of struggle from the side of Radford to get the ball moving the way that they would normally get everything going. Riolite hasn't really had any time with the ball. Smurf has not had any time with the ball. Frequency has not been able to find a good pass off to either one of the two on the sides. Trying, but Harrisburg being very, very strong on their D.
Yeah, and I don't want to jinx, I don't want to cast this curse, but that was a problem I noticed even when they were playing against MSU, that Riolite and Smurf were often fighting over the ball. That's where we saw those double commits come into play. That's where we saw a little bit of the friendly bumping, you know, and that really caused a problem. And against Harrisburg, it's going to be an even bigger problem as Polar gets the second on the board for Harrisburg.
Nothing but net. Check this out. Frequency was looking to redirect. That would have been a clean shot if you made it, but you didn't have the boost, you didn't have the distance, you didn't have the drive. Harrisburg, though, they can say they had all 3 of the above as they are able to find the goal, put it right in there. No defensive players inbound. Harrisburg, less than a minute remains in round number 1 of this best of 7 grand finals, and they are looking to keep their record going.
Yeah, Riolite did a fantastic job on the transition there because they literally just gave up a wide open net, so they know they have to be faster on the transition. Riolite were able to get back quick, fast, in a hurry, but it cost them all their boost. Now they're back up in the fight again, going boostless. Another wide open net. I said it before this match started. You cannot afford to make the same mistakes you made against MSU, because if you make them against Harrisburg, exactly this will happen.
And the most unfortunate thing about that, that was a 50-50 commit that went the wrong way. That is the risk, the gamble that you play whenever you go for those 50-50 commits. Radford feeling themselves being down at that moment, getting a little too overzealous, found themselves taking a gamble where they had to throw something on the line. Unfortunately, it all came up in favor of Harrisburg. 5 seconds on the clock. That's not enough time for Radford to be able to mount any kind of comeback. That is going to be game number 1. Going to the side of Harrisburg as they remain an undefeatable team. Beautiful stuff.
What is going on with the defense from Harrisburg? 7 saves.
Yep.
My goodness. Like, I don't think I've seen Harrisburg play that much defense ever. They're mostly offense. Most of the time I've been watching them, Harrisburg has been mostly offense. They come out with this one, and their save count is higher than their shot count, which is, I mean, I guess it's a good thing because clearly, you know, we're thinking of Harrisburg of like this score-heavy team, you know, but they just proved that they can play both sides of the ball, which makes them that much more dangerous. But still, 7 saves? That's nutty.
I feel like this is kind of what we had seen last week, though, Lair. It's like Harrisburg will let Radford just kind of play aggressive, and they go for those saves, right? Like, they're just going to go ahead and bounce around. They're going to make sure that they're grabbing those saves. Last week, we saw a good bit of that as well, where it was like, all right, you know what? Make your shots. We're going to aim from the moment you attack, right? It's that mentality of, you know, every time you exert yourself to go forward, when you lunge forward, you're losing that defense that you had there, right? Like, it is so much easier to strike at that moment. So every single time those shots happen, those opportunities come across, you're giving opportunities to Harrisburg.
Well, here we are, game number 2 now officially underway. The cheat up does go in the favor of Harrisburg, as T. Carell now looking for the pass. It connects, but Breakux is there with the save, starting off some early epic defense, to say the least.
Yeah, Harrisburg said they were playing a lot of defense. They said, hey, how about we show you a really crazy play right off the get-go. Harrisburg looking to get control over the ball. Had good control over to it in the last one, despite all the shots that Radford was able to make. T. Carell, yet again, trying to drive it on in. You've seen Riolite go back and try to play a little bit of that defense. Needs to get some of that boost. Get ready, because here comes the offense, and they're looking to mount yet again another assault on the goal.
And you know what? I'm going to pick your brain a little bit. I want to ask you a question. What do you think is more difficult, making a flip reset shot or blocking a flip reset shot?
Blocking. Because there's so many variables that you have to look at, right? Not only can a flip reset shot look like it's going to be a flip reset shot, there's a possibility that a pass could happen. You got to make sure you take note of all the different members that are there, because even if you block the shot, is it going to be a scoring opportunity to come across from it, right? How good can you block this shot? How can you push the shot out? Is it going to just drop into a pass? Will it go off of the board? There's so many things that you can kick yourself over. Defense, whoever's the goalie, I always feel for him whenever it comes down to it. If you're trying to play defense and that's your specialty, you a different kind of beast.
Yeah, I can't help but agree, you know, 100%. And again, I think that's where, you know, the defensive side of Rocket League, you know, doesn't get the credit, you know, as it deserves, because, you know, playing defense, it's not as flashy as offense. Like, again, defending that flip reset, it doesn't look as good as making the actual flip reset shot, right? So again, I don't think a lot of credit is given to these defenders when they come up with big plays to block these high mechanical shots. So again, I 100% agree with you, as we are, again, just a minute and, no, actually 2 minutes and 10 underway, and we are sitting at 0-0.
Nobody has been able to grab past this, but T. Carell says, hey, yo, 3 minutes in, that's a little bit too early, too late for me. I want to go ahead and find this scoring opportunity. Nice little bump, reposition it. You saw the crosshairs hit. Wasn't just a hit marker, it was a kill shot. Harrisburg grabbed themselves a lead inside of round 2.
Oh, this could have been a big opportunity. Again, they managed to win the kickoff, but the follow-up off the defense was really good, and that's another thing about the defense, is that you can't just sit back and wait and get a save. You also got to be able to jump up when you need to and block the shot before it even takes place, and that's just another difficulty about the defense, is whether you should sit back and guard the net or you get in your opponent's face and block the shot.
Problem is, Harrisburg, they are a jack of all trades. They're also a master of them all, right? They all have that experience that pushes them forward. Each one of them as individuals knows what it's like to be able to drive the ball forward, to be able to block the ball, to get those coordinated plays happen. They know what it's like to be on the receiving end, to be the one to give in the pass. And look at this, yet again, the pieces, they move forward. You got those comms coming through saying, yo, T. Carell off the top, bringing it down from the heavens. But again, it's Radford's defense, no slouch either. They're doing a phenomenal job of making sure to interrupt these kinds of plays where they're looking for that connection, where they're looking for that chemical reaction to happen between the Harrisburg members, but it's just Radford who keeps disrupting it. But now they got to find a way to spark that reaction all on their own so they can get that goal in. They do not want to go down quietly.
My goodness, the way that Harrisburg has been meeting up in the midfield has just been absolutely spectacular. Again, this is coming off of bumps, off of demos. They still managed to somehow, keep the ball in their possession for the majority of the time. Now you have a big play going downfield. Next, not enough juice to put it on target. Still very much in the danger here as Polar going to go up high, and finally, it looks as though as Radford should be able to take possession until next again looks for T. Corral.
Really good play coming out from Smurf, by the way. Going for the stop play, but it's not enough. Nets gets a bump in there. And for the second time in this round, just a little love tap. That's all she wrote. A nice little letter slid into the locker. And that's a goal scored for Nets Harrisburg. 2 goals up with 45 seconds remaining in the round.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what the stat sheet looks like at the end of this game, because again, it doesn't feel like Harrisburg is obliterating them with shots. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm sure they are. I'm sure their shot count is pretty good, but at the same time, I feel like it's the defense from Harrisburg that is, just being the Achilles heel of Radford, because Radford, they're being speedy. They're getting up in Harrisburg's face. It's just every time they get batted down time and time again. And speaking of time, we're almost out here in regulation.
Time's almost out. Polar almost driving the ball in front of the net, just showing Rioli, hey man, this is what you're not going to be able to do. We're not going to let you do all of this. Just drives it all in pass. And now Radford, they're going to go ahead and let the ball drop. D. Corral has it hovering inside the corner, hits the ground. Harrisburg 2 up inside of this best of 7 yet again. They still remain with that streak intact. And there's those stats you were talking about already. Look at them saves coming out.
Yeah, I was completely wrong about Harrisburg, I guess. It felt like they were playing defense, but I guess not. I mean, they come away with 11 shots in comparison to Radford's 2. It does. Oh my goodness. I can't think of a scenario where you win that unless, again, you play perfect defense. They take 11 shots. You're getting 11 saves. But at the same time, you have to have a goal on the board in order for that to work, right? You have to have a higher shot count than 2 shots. If you're getting outshot like that, then where is the avenue to try and make the correction? Again, you would have to play perfect defense and still find a shot on the board. So it kind of feels as though not only is Radford playing against Harrisburg, but they're kind of playing against themselves too.
The thing that I find the most interesting inside of it is the possession game inside that round number 2, right? Harrisburg just maintained possession throughout that entire time. You actually had brought up a point about how it felt like Radford just wasn't able to get a hold of the ball and whatnot. I was looking as this was happening, and I just saw the ball flying through the air, just really softly up towards the sky. We saw a lot of that actually inside of the series, where Harrisburg was just full sending it, doing these long, lofty clears up into the sky. But yo, that's what Radford needed. Smurf said, I'll break your ankles, your tire axis, whatever you want to call them. Just immediately grabs it off pitch, off the flip, grabs it, put it in the post.
Here we go. This is what Radford needed. Now we can start having a conversation, because this is the first time in the series that Radford has taken a lead. So this is huge. They can definitely ride a wave of momentum here if they can manage to keep Harrisburg out of their net. Because keep in mind, Harrisburg, they're not dropping a monstrous amount of goals. First game was 3, then it was 2. It hasn't really been that overwhelming. So if Radford can take the early lead here, they can really build upon it. It's kind of like the error that I was talking about in the previous matchup. You weren't getting on the board. Now they got the hard part done early. They managed to get on the board first.
We saw in the last series, right? This team that once they start getting a lead, it does begin to become hard to take that away. But T. Corral is up for the challenge. Says, I'll go ahead, go out with a boom, gets the goal on in there. Gorgeous stuff coming out. And that is just them grabbing the ball, being in the right place at the right time. Harrisburg gets the equalizer.
how do we go from having nearly a half of regulation without a goal to immediately getting 2 back-to-back goals in a matter of 40 seconds? Like, how did we make that transition in play styles? I love it. Don't get me wrong. It shows that both teams are trying to change, you know, what wasn't working in the previous games and then applying something new here in game 3. So again, you can see the cogs are working and the plays are coming out. That is now 2 goals for Radford.
Hey, yo, he just swung in there and said, my ball. Look at this, right in the right position, already boosting forward. And you actually could see there was another commit there. There were 2 members that swung. One was a swing and a miss, but the second one, hey, yo, that's a home run if I ever saw it.
Well, here we go, back to the action. Only a minute gone, and 3 goals are on the board. A complete change in the pace of play coming from both teams here. What seemed to be like a stalemate at a snail's pace, now all of a sudden has got a lot of boost going in their direction here. I mean, already you could see Harrisburg going right back to the attack to try and equalize.
Agents have now been warmed up. They've been accelerating. They've upshifted in gears, both sides looking to continue this onslaught as Harrisburg trying to get a little bit more aggression in there. T. Corral not able to find the pass they wanted. And yet again, another long clear. Looked like a pass, but got intercepted by the side of Harrisburg, which are no slouches to some good defense as well. Smurf coming in with the interception, but it's going to be hard to find those long, lofty plays. You can see just floating it on into the post. Rioli can find goal, but a dangerous scenario as T. Corral says, it's my turn, and almost gets a goal.
I don't know what was more impressive, the shot or the save, because from my angle, the way I saw it, it was going in. Like, that one doesn't come out, but literally Smurf had to go and extract it to get that one out. It was partially in the net. And again, just a beautiful save from Smurf. And if they ended up winning by 1 goal, I would say that was the play of the game that saved it for Radford.
Radford doing such good work for themselves inside of this 3rd round. They want to be the first team to blemish on the Harrisburg record in terms of the round. Harrisburg, they've been saying they looked at it as an expectation. T. Corral has been going above expectations inside of this grand finals. Yet again, another goal right off the top of the goal.
That was a full field play. Next with the pass, redirect from T. Corral, and then the double tap to put it on in. Literally, the possession was gained in front of the Harrisburg net, and they were able to take it and turn it into a goal in a mere matter of, what, maybe 2 seconds that play occurred. Absolutely phenomenal. That is literally the definition of peak transition.
Now, going for another scoring opportunity. Radford is able to block it away. Less than 2 minutes remain. Both sides have the tools at their disposal to get that lead for themselves. The question does become, can they keep it? I have no doubt in my mind we're probably going to see another goal with the way these 2 teams have been going at each other.
Well, they're running out of time to get the job done. Just about 1 minute and 35 left on the clock. Precox tries to go out. Doesn't have any boost, though. The teammate off towards the side. Gets batted away next. 50, able to stop the ball. As this one is going to get pinched out. A little dangerous for Radford. Is now coming out the corner. Shot maybe, but it looks like a little bit of a miscommunication there from Harrisburg.
Harrisburg is not used to being in this situation, right? There's only been one team that's brought this out of them in the top regular season, and unfortunately for them, that team name is Radford. Radford is the only team that has put them inside of the losing distance in terms of losing out on a round. They're the only team to really put that contention, that huge amount of pressure onto them. They've been undeniable, but Radford, they came in here with a goal in mind, and that is to conquer Harrisburg, to conquer the streak that they've had going for themselves. Harrisburg not going to slouch. You see them positioning, getting themselves ready. 30 seconds remain on the round.
Now just 30 seconds remaining until we possibly see OT for the first time here in this series. As now this one's going to get batted away by Polar over towards the side. And now going up high. Real Light tries to find the pass, able to get the touchdown, but Next is there to get the clear, and now it's a full-on swing the other direction. The shot is on, but it does not go in.
Yeah, And with 3 seconds coming about, if you're at the side of Radford, you probably would just like the reset, centered out ball. Here we go, OT. Radford knows what it's like to get a score off pitch. Goes for the contest. Frequent's almost funded another one for Radford.
I honestly think that was a fake kickoff the way they set that one up, because again the following pass was just too good. Like, don't get me wrong, it was close, like they almost were able to 50 it out, but the way that it came out towards the end, there was 2 consecutive passes that followed. So I'm thinking that was actually a calculated kickoff coming from the side of Harrisburg.
I mean, look, they got close onto it. They had to recover the ball off of the kickoff and said the clever passes, but that's just Harrisburg, right? It's a team that can make a scoring opportunity in a moment. Trying to find yet again a little bit more. Riolite been relatively quiet. Wants to get onto this table, wants everybody to talk about them. The spotlight, it deserves to be on Riolite, but Smurf trying to control the ball. Riolite grabbing possession yet again.
Yeah, big demo to try and give just a little bit of breathing room here. Right up the middle, possible shot. Unfortunately, couldn't get to the ball in time as this one's going to hover in towards mid. T. Corral looking for the flick. Not going to be good to go as Precox now off the wall, gets past one, passes to mid, off the backboard, and that's a clear.
Murph doing a great job defensively there. Precox looking for a possible goal, but can't find it. Can't seal the deal. T. Corral off the backboard. Good interruption from Riolite because there was a teammate waiting to bump that in, and Smurf with a goal almost scored. Polar denying yet again. Neither member, they're getting close, but no cigar, no goal to be scored. It's just post to post to post.
I feel like that last shot should have been it. Like, don't get me wrong, I feel like there was enough room to try and, you know, put that one on target, but, you know, it was just high. They tried to go off the backboard, which I understand, but there was no one on the follow-up off that backboard touch. So, again, it seemed like a wasted opportunity, but still, we are in overtime, you know, over 2 minutes gone now. Still plenty of opportunities to be had.
Hard to make those opportunities happen against teams of these caliber. The pressure is on, and that is going to be an opportunity. Almost seized by Riolite. Nets with the save, though. T. Corral trying to carry it on over. Finesse the ball a little bit. Nets coming in for a score of their own, but yet again, the defense is immaculate. Riolite tries to carry in the ball. The follow-up is good.
Harrisburg no longer undefeated in a series. It's not over yet. It is now 2-1. Harrisburg still with the lead, but they taste defeat for the first time here in the postseason. Radford putting up a win, finally getting a hit onto Harrisburg. My goodness, what a game.
Look, I'm telling you right now, that's something you feel good about, right? Radford automatically grabbing around from a team that has been unconquerable, has not bled, has not shown any sign of weakness, has not had a team come out on top of them inside of a round. It all started with Radford grabbing an early lead and making sure to consistently grab that one extra point more to be that stepping stone for them, to translate from play to play. Love this from the Radford team. And now Harrisburg, they've gotten a big hit landed into them, right? There's a little bit of a nosebleed, but it's not over. It's not done. Your job's not over. You won one round. And I know from the players we've talked to from Radford, they are not satisfied with just one round. They want the whole thing.
Yeah, they definitely do, but still, you have a ways to go. Remember, this is the best of 7, okay? This is going to be a little bit more drawn out than what we were used to. So with that being said, there's still plenty of more Rocket League to go, and at the end of the day, when you're in these best of 7 scenarios, you also have to test not only your mechanical prowess, not only your team synergy, but it's the endurance, it's the stamina. You know, I say it all the time, when you get into these scenarios, when you've been playing all day, keep in mind, Radford, they had to play a game before this one. So you know that endurance is being tested. At the end of the day, there's going to be a team that either goes sick on the sticks or they go numb in the thumbs.
Last round started with the 50-50 contest off of a pitch in which Radford took control over. Polar, yet again, says, I will pay you back in kind. Round 1, it was the rule break. This time, it's right off the pitch. Harrisburg coming in. The streak may have been ruined, But they're going to see if they can ruin out this series for Radford as they get the early lead. A key component to Radford being able to play well was that momentum. Can Radford seize it yet again?
Let's find out. Going back out towards the mid. T. Corral looking for Polar. Not going to be able to connect, though, but I like the way they're thinking. The plays are there. The ideas are there. Now we just got to see the execution. T. Corral able to follow up. Going off the backboard. It's going to drop down, and no one there to reciprocate.
Riolite there to intercept, get a little touch, and set it down. I'm not sure if it might have mistimed things as well. You can see Radford going quick onto the aggression. Good stuff as Precox goes ahead, gets to pass off to the side. Nice clear, very simple off the board though. Polar wants another goal. They are upset, they are angry, they are ready to eat, sleep, conquer, repeat. Harrisburg.
Yeah, I was going to say, you could tell that they are definitely playing on another level now because I don't think they thought they were going to lose that last game. And now they are seeking a little bit of payback.
They are. There's a gallery of goals, and they're being scored all by Polar as they just find yet another one right there into the corner. Beautifully placed. 2-0 lead for Harrisburg as these passes, we saw visions of them, but we have not seen them come to fruition. And you ask for where the execution is. Well, right now, Polar's got the guillotine axe right now. They said, I'll show you one right now, buddy. I'll show you in game.
Well, still time here. 3 minutes and 20 remaining. And Harrisburg holding on to the 2-0 lead. That one does get deflected out. Polar able to return the favor. Smurf now able to find the touch. They have a little boost to work with here. Next, does get the touch. Have T. Corral in the mid. Precox, though, able to slow things down a bit.
Nice tap, centers up the ball beautifully, gets themselves centered up. A good disruption from Radford to make sure the ball does not drop down exactly where they would want it to be. You can see a lot more of these centering plays. Harrisburg, they're looking, they're keeping their eyes out on who is out there and ready for a scoring opportunity. They're playing with those playmakers still, but looking for more of those pass plays to get past the defense of Radford.
Yeah, I don't get more nervous for Radford than whenever I see T. Corral in an isolated position. Whenever T. Corral is alone with the ball, that is probably the most dangerous for Radford, because even if T. Corral doesn't score, T. Corral is still going to be able to create an opportunity somehow, some way. Their mechanical prowess just cannot be denied, as once again, you can see they are trying to find an avenue in order to score, or at least find a path.
Polar over onto the side is going to have to deal with Riolite, trying to bring up a little bit of that heat. Less than 2 minutes remain in round number 4. Radford want to be able to pick up some goals here. They need to grab 2 at least and look for that OT. Smurf off the 50-50 contention. Riolite's there to confirm, get the clear. And Harrisburg, though, it's been a different game, a different beast. It has been awakened. Is looking so indomitable with their possession.
Honestly, it's been a whole lot of offense coming from Harrisburg so far. They're trying to keep Radford confined in their own half. They're going to force them to come up with save after save after save, and they just don't want Radford to play defense. At this point, it's not even so much about making goals, it's just not allowing Radford to play offense.
Gorgeous play coming out from the side here. As, Smurf right there into the corner is being locked into their goal post. Look at it, centered up shot. But yet again, great D coming out from Radford as they get a little nudge to be able to push the ball a little bit out of position. And now Radford possibly with a scoring opportunity, but yet again, T. Corral swoops in, grabs it, glides the ball over to the post. And Radford's put in a rough scenario, can't finish the deal. It is a heartbreak to see, but Harrisburg are going to maintain that lead.
I mean, there's still time, but I really feel like that last missed opportunity might have been the nail in the coffin. I mean, that is just so demoralizing. It's hard to get your head back in the right mindset after a missed opportunity like that, because they should have made it. We know that. They know that. It was just unfortunate It feels bad. It happens to the best of us, but it could not have happened at a worse time here for Radford. That is going to be now 3 games in the favor of Harrisburg. They put themselves on match point, and they put themselves on tournament point.
Strike distance has been achieved. They have a bruise. They have a little lick that has been laid into them in the last round, but Harrisburg, they looking fine. They looking like they're ready for match point. As you were saying, the grand finals, this is it. You got one more round of your Harrisburg, while Radford, they got to win 3 in succession, back to back to back, to be able to get themselves a secured win. The journey is long and arduous for Radford, and Harrisburg, they see that checkered line. They see that finish.
Yeah, and this time, this was just a game of possession. You're looking at 11 shots compared to 4. Again, you're thinking, well, that's not the biggest shot disparity we've ever seen, but when you're looking at a goal that's 2-0, that all of a sudden becomes a really big 11-4 shot spread. All of a sudden, that becomes astronomical when you're looking at a 2-0 scoreline. Again, it was just Harrisburg not even minding that some of these shots were going off the rim, going off the sidebar, getting saves. Again, you're looking at 5 saves coming from the side of Radford. Harrisburg was not fazed by that. Their entire goal in that game was to keep the likes of Radford on the defense, keeping them away from the ball, keeping them off of possession, and keeping them in their own half. And when it comes to that last game, Harrisburg succeeded.
I wonder, right? Harrisburg's adaptation to saying, all right, we're going to focus on team play. We're going to focus on long cross passes to come across, right? They've been doing these long lobs over to each other, looking for those plays. They're starting to connect. They just play offense. It feels like Radford just cannot get out of that bubble once you confine them. And I feel like the key factor is that first goal. Radford needs to be the one to score that goal, because that is just giving them the momentum to be able to disrupt exactly where Harrisburg is the most comfortable playing from.
Well, here we go. This could be it right here, right now. This is series point for Harrisburg. Radford, like you said, have to play flawless from here on out. Next, going to try and start things up. T. Carell looked to tee off. Not going to be able to get it to go. Polar going to lose possession here to Smurf. Out towards the mid again. Next, trying to buy a little bit of time for their teams to transition back to defense. Polar now with the redirect. Goes back mid. The follow-up shot is there, but Precux gets the save.
Gorgeous play yet again, but it's kind of just becoming what you expect from Harrisburg, where they're just flawless with their execution now. They have gotten themselves in such a good play. Look at that. That's something for the highlight reel right here. That's something that the coach is probably proud of. As look at this, all 3 members getting a hand in the play.
Unless you are already in the path of the ball, you don't save that. Coming off of the pass, the speed off the shot coming from Nex, it is impossible to react fast enough in order to save that unless you're already there. Meanwhile, you don't have to worry about that type of scenario when you have an open net going the other way.
Yo, Smurf says open net, I take those every single time. Bane of existence for Harrisburg is whenever Smurf has an open field to play with. Feels good for the Radford fans, as now they have a tied up game. 4 minutes left in what could be the final round as well. Radford being on the board has been a good sign for them. Hopefully this gives them that momentum they need to feel themselves, to be able to play to the utmost.
Yeah, but take a look at this. Easy come, easy go. The tie game is no more. Harrisburg able to find their second.
Ooh. Ah, yeah, no, Polar, yet again. I feel like if Smurf is going to be the Bane, Polar is also the Bane of Radford, right? Anytime that they do not want Polar to be at, any plays they don't want to see Polar at by themselves for a scoring opportunity, Polar's there, ready to click into action. But, yeah, it can be said, Smurf would guide that in. It was a shot made by Precux. He'll get the assist for the goal. But Smurf kind of guiding that ball on in there, make sure it accelerated and got into the net.
Yeah, again, we're seeing what the case could be as too much offense coming from Harrisburg. Like, yes, they managed to get 2 goals on the board, but they also gave up 2 because they were inside of enemy territory and not transitioning into defense. Like, earlier on throughout the series, Harrisburg has had some phenomenal transitional plays, and now they've been caught napping twice so far, and it's only been like what has it been, 1:30 off the clock, and they have had 2 open goals scored on.
Again, another clear, another play. You can see Nets can get into possession of that ball, trying to steal it away. Freefoot's doing a great job controlling, but unfortunately for them, 3-on-1. Nobody likes those odds. As you can see, Polar yet again, always positioned in an area where Radford hates to see him. Right there into the corner. Riolite tried to swerve in, but could not find the ball.
But how do you even line that shot up? That was just so cheeky. Again, it was like a pool shot in the sense that they're just crawling the corner pocket, and then they just lined it up perfectly. Again, it was a roller. It wasn't even a laser. It just rolled into the corner pocket. Again, the positioning, like you had mentioned, phenomenal. But the shot placement, I mean, you can't put that anywhere else, and it goes in.
Some play coming about. Harrisburg have a little bit of a lead for themselves. Radford has been finding equalizers very quickly on. Shot was on point, but just a little off to the side thanks to the rough play coming from Harrisburg, making sure to rough it up with them, scratch up that paint job. Harrisburg doing a good job keeping that lead isolated, but Radford, you can see already one member going back. They said, we know your game, we know what you're trying to play, get it away from our backboard.
And now going out towards the side, you can see Next trying to find the follow-up here. 2 defenders in net, though. And now nobody playing far post for Radford. This is dangerous as finally they do manage to get up and in the air. But now that's 2 players out of position. Off the backboard it goes. Big pinch, big clear, clutch third player from Radford to clear that one out.
That was so scary. Polar absolutely had the goal signed in, and they have just learned a lesson. Yo, when the ball is free, look where Polar is. They're already looking for a scoring opportunity. See Corral, you were talking about him earlier on. When they're left alone with the ball, magic tends to happen, and it is not a trick you want to see if you are a Radford fan, as Radford is still hot and ready. They want to get themselves into that OT situation at this moment in time. That is what they are vying for. If they can get this, you have a little over a minute still left on the clock, and they have been swinging wide, but they haven't been swinging in, as yet again the defense has just been immaculate.
Harrisburg is playing too much. I mean, they're giving Radford too many big opportunities. Like, I get it. They managed to scramble. They recover somehow. But how many of those do you have in the tank? How many times can you pull off these last-second recovery saves and think that Radford's not going to score? Like, they managed to pull it off, but you don't want to do that too many times.
Oh, Riolite! Yo, you need a hero to keep the dream alive. There's Riolite going for it, but right up the corner, no! Heartbreak immediately ensues. They felt great. They had the cape on, but unfortunately, it turned back into the pumpkin. Nets now looking to keep the ball over here into their side. That's the scoring opportunity. That's a 2-goal lead. OT has just become a distant dream.
Yeah, that might be it. Again, I don't want to be the one to call the nail in the coffin yet. I mean, 23 seconds, you can get a kickoff goal and then you're back in the game. But again, if they don't get the kickoff goal here, I would say that it's pretty much a ripperoni with cheese. As you can see, this one now going up high. Time again beginning to dwindle, and that should just about do it.
Harrisburg will just go ahead. They're getting some nice lofty passes back and forth. T. Corral is just going to corral the ball a little bit, just hold on to possession for a bit. Radford's not going to be able to find the scoring opportunity. And there you go. They come out of the round as the ball will eventually drop down. T. Corral looking for a little bit. There it is. They will let it go back down. They were looking for a possible scoring opportunity to give themselves a little bit more of a lead, but with bruises on their skin, a couple cuts, a little busted lip, Harrisburg, for the first time, they taste their own blood inside the matchup, but they turn around, they fire up, They get that adrenaline running, and they are completely unfathomable, unconquerable, and they are your champions.
Yeah, and I gotta give Radford the well-respected GGs. Again, they played phenomenal there in the lower bracket in order to make their way back to Grands. They played themselves a good game in Grands as well. And again, I would just like to applaud their performance and their sportsmanship, because so many times I've seen, especially in close games like this, when you know the game is out of reach, it's over, the series is done, and they just they up and leave the lobby early. They don't say their GGs, and they just disappear. So again, Radford, thank you for being good sports. Thank you for being professionals and sticking it out to the end, saying your GGs, and then moving on. Thank you for that. But at the end of the day, the congratulations goes to where it belongs, and we have ourselves a rightful champion in Harrisburg. Well played from start to finish. They keep the undefeated series alive, but Radford did manage to put an L on their record.
Yeah, got rid of one of those rounds, right? Harrisburg will probably, the coach will look over and just be like, all right, this goes against my expectations. What are you guys doing? But I think he'll be immediately like, oh, a championship. Oh, and we'll immediately forget about everything that came to occur from that, as it's automatically a success story. Harrisburg came in here, didn't lose anything. Radford gave him the fight. Radford said that this is a team they wanted to compete against. They thought that they had an answer to Harrisburg, and they did for a moment. Harrisburg, though, a team with so many options, each one of their players so individually talented, and even when we talked to their coach last time, look, the coach said they got an easy job. The players, they're all good, they're all got their own specific pedigree, they know how to play ball. It's just their job to make sure they're playing it right together.
Exactly. And with that being said, I mean, it has been a phenomenal season for Rocket League. Harrisburg, again, being the tried and true, living up to all the expectations, living up to the hype. They managed to come through and take the championship. Absolutely well done. And I mean, that might be into the games, but we're also going to try and get an interview, I believe, Travesty, to see if we could talk to somebody from the Harrisburg squad.
Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and find out who we have for an interview from Harrisburg, and we're going to go ahead and take ourselves a short little break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking with, hopefully, a member from Harrisburg. So make sure you do not touch that browser, so we will be back with hopefully a champion joining us. everyone, and welcome on back to the Unified Premier League. We got our Collegiate play. The 2024 fall season for Rocket League just ended and ended with a bang. My name's Travis. I'm joined here with Captain Ahsoka and Captain... Yo, we're not by ourselves. We got T. Corral, the new champion out here on the block from Harrisburg. How you feeling?
Feeling good, man. Feeling good. How about you?
You know what? I feel great because y'all gave me an exciting game, exciting series. I want to actually ask you, I want to walk through that because this is the first time I believe y'all have lost a round throughout the entirety of this season. I want to ask, how were comes for the team? Were you guys chilling after that game, that round 3 where you started seeing Radford swing back, or were you guys just like, all right, we got to clean things up, or business as usual?
I mean, to be honest with you, we just know that we're the better team, so we were kind of just like having a good time. And then they won a game. We're like, all right, let's let's
Lock
lock it in
in.
a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
and
just
you know,
having a good time. That's really it.
I mean, it really looked like it, to be honest. And speaking of, like, I couldn't help but notice that T. Carell, you were like the spearhead for the offense a lot of the times. Again, your solo mechanical skills, again, are self-evident. To be completely honest, they speak for themselves. But I want to ask you, do you find yourself often in like an IGL position? And if not, is there anyone that does fill that role?
I would say normally yes, but as far as like the school team goes, I think we all kind of do a little bit of IGLing. Especially recently, we've kind of like tried to switch things up a little bit. But I would say mainly me and Polar would be like IGL, I guess, if that makes sense. But we all kind of do it.
Yeah, and you know what? I couldn't help but notice that the team synergy was like through the roof. I mean, my goodness, y'all were finding each other across the map, play after play. You're linking up, you're pre-jumping, you're getting all these insane redirects. I want to know, we didn't get a chance to actually listen into any of the comms. Can you like give us like an example of like what it's like, having to make these call outs to make these plays happen?
PG.
I mean, I think it's all about confidence. It's mainly just, having the confidence in your teammates to be able to like beat people, and like we're all good enough to a point where, if we call like one more left, like we know that we can get it one more left, so we just kind of like play off of the comms like that. You just pre-jump and have fun with it.
Yeah, and I got one more question for you, and this one is not a serious question. Sign my profile? Question mark?
Yeah, sounds good to me. Just hit me up with the link and I got you.
Yo,
For sure.
Cap's out here getting autographs set up and everything. I want to ask, is there anything that you do as an individual? Because we talked about your individual mechanics. We've talked about your team. What hypes you up before a game? To give us a little insight in what T. Carell does. Is it like you go and watch your favorite anime? Do you go and just play a couple rounds to get your hands warm? What's it like for T. Carell?
If I want to be like the most warm that I can be, I normally like to play for at least like an hour before anything. But typically for like tournaments and stuff, you do a scrim versus another team for an hour anyways. But I like to get on an hour before that just to, warm the hands up and feel the car a little bit, But I don't really have anything like too superstitious or anything like that. I just kind of hop on, make sure I'm on an hour before, hit the ball around, feel comfortable, and then go into it with the warm-up scrim. And then
Do you go in like solo playlists, or do you go with your teammates for those?
recently me and Polar have been playing twos a decent amount.
Mm-hmm.
When we're just kind of waiting for things to start and in between scrims and stuff like that. So I would say mainly just me and Polar playing twos recently.
Got you. I asked because back when I used to play game competitive and whatnot, I have a superstition in my head that I can't play with my teammates until it's time to go, or else it's going to ruin the magic, So I appreciate it. I always like to hear what other people end up doing in regards to it. Well, T. Carell, you guys are champions. You guys have won. What's the plan for Harrisburg's team? Are you guys going to go celebrate? Are you going out? Is the coach paying you out to a nice, expensive dinner? What's going on?
I think everyone's actually just getting on to do their homework. Actually, I think that's what our plan to celebrate is, just gonna be turning in those assignments.
The deadlines, they don't stop for anybody, even championship teams.
That's true.
Well, thank you, T. Carell. With that being said, any shout outs you would like to give to the people that have supported Harrisburg throughout the time? You guys have such an illustrious esports program there. What do you have any shout outs you would like to give?
Just shout out to the fans, shout out to whoever supports us. Shout out to our coach Nick. He's always trying his best to try to help us as much as he can in between games and stuff like that. And yeah, shout out to the fans again. That's really all I got.
Well, shout outs to the fans and shout outs to you. Congratulations yet again on being our champion here inside of the 2024 fall season. We'll be sure to catch more of your plays in the near future. But with that being said, we will bid you adieu. Thank you again, T. Carell.
Of course, thanks.
Of course. And with that being said, that is it for our Rocket League season that we'll be covering here. I mean, What an amazing ride it has been, Cap. From start to finish, all the way up until grand finals. We've seen a lot of 3-0s throughout the regular season. Let's not even talk about it, but there's been a lot of excitement inside those plays, and even just getting to talk to the players. There's been so much energy in the scene.
Oh, absolutely. And again, it's been another fantastic season at the Unified Collegiate League for Rocket League. But, you know, just a friendly reminder, Rocket League is not all we do. We got other esports going down as well throughout the week. Of course, on Monday, we had ourselves some Overwatch 2. Absolutely great. Today, Rocket League finished off on a high note. And tomorrow, we got some League of Legends. Thursday is Valorant. And Friday is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So still more great games to come to wrap up this season of the UCL.
It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. You do not want to miss it at all. Each beat, I'll be here. That's me. I'll be here on Friday playing some well, I won't be playing, but I'll be watching some Smash. I'll be talking some crew battles, and we'll be pounding it out. But there will also, like you said, be games on Wednesday. There'll be games on Thursday, so make sure you hit that follow button if you haven't already. That way you can be tuned for all the action. It's our final week. Make sure you support Collegiate esports. It's so very important. And if we're going to talk about teams to support, we got to give a shout out to a team that supports us. Make sure you check out By Blue Light. They make these fantastic glasses. Check it out right here. Wow, whoa. These are By Blue Light glasses. I have them. They sent these out to me. They are the most comfortable gaming glasses that I have had. I am a headset wearer. I am not an earbud wearer, as you can see. So I absolutely loathe glasses that get pushed right up against my ear and feel like they're cutting off the circulation. They saw in my ear right at the top. By Blue Light, they do not do that. They are comfortable, something that I can wear all day, all night, and that way I can get a nice relaxing bit of sleep after doing one massive gaming session. But it is farewell for now. For everybody else that has came through, we give a shout out to you. Thank you for coming in, supporting Collegiate esports. Shout outs to production. We had Zephyr, who's behind the pedals, that have been making sure that everything has been going good and clean. Shout out to my boy Captain Ahsoka going in here and making sure to call the plays with us. Y'all take care. Have yourselves a phenomenal evening. We'll see ya.
Hello.